Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another LPTV Disney morning show talking to you about what's going on in the world of Disney. My name is Doobie Mosley. I co-founded this whole empire you are now staring at. And the man over there is the guy who now manages it. That is Kyle Burbank.
Hello. I was
How's it going,
managing it
Kyle?
right now, explaining
Cool.
a story to our staff to make sure they understand it.
See, Kyle is the grease that makes the engine go. I know nothing about cars. I don't know if grease is actually required, but that seemed to make sense to me, so that's why I said it.
You can wait.
Okay, let's see. We're going to start today the way we start every day, and that is with a look at yesterday's Disney Trivia Live. What did you think of the show yesterday, Kyle?
It was fun. I especially loved when I sent you the wrong clip inadvertently. That was fantastic. Got myself fired a second time. And yeah, that was fun. I think I won one of them. I forget. Did I win? No, I didn't. I think I ended up in the. I think I got a maglet position one of the times.
Okay.
That's right.
The loser position.
Yeah.
The trio was in rare form yesterday. Always fun to see. All right, let's get to the money. All right, Kai. Today I want you to give me the share price within $3.
Okay, $84.50.
$84.50. Let's see.
If I don't get this for $3, I'll either be very happy or okay. Well,
wow, you wasted a really good guess on a $3 margin. $84.28. Kyle is right with that one. We will tally it up. Where's Kyle at now? Every morning we get Kyle to take a guess. We keep track of right and wrong, but the margin can change at my whim.
What did you have me down for yesterday? Because I thought you said that I was wrong when I was very much right.
Based on these numbers, I think I put you in right.
Okay.
So you are out 8 right and 4 wrong. So that is beyond Hall of Fame numbers. You're doing well. Ethan, I believe, is actually on a break. He might even be on assignment, knee deep in water. So we're actually just going to get a weather report on what's going on in Central Florida from Kai.
Yeah, so as you might have heard, Hurricane Idalia, is that how we say it? Did make landfall. It strengthened to a 4, but from what I'm seeing, it hit the big curve, I think is what it's called, at a 3. Currently, it's down to a 1, so it's still a hurricane, but it's a 1, and it's also heading up into Georgia right now. But because it's so big, the outer bands are still affecting Central Florida. So there's been a tornado watch for much of Central Florida, including Walt Disney World and that whole area. Today, that expires at 3 p.m. I haven't seen any reports of tornadoes or other really bad issues in that area this morning. But obviously, it's something they're still keeping an eye on. And now next up, it's going to be affecting Georgia. And let me take a look at the map, because I don't know geography. That's what I thought. Carolinas, especially the coast, because it's going to head, up and back out to the Atlantic. Came on the Gulf side, it's going to exit on the Atlantic side, and hopefully not circle back around. I don't know if that's a possibility.
It's so crazy with it. No, it has happened. Yeah, it has most definitely happened where it goes out to the water, rebuilds, and comes right back onto shore. The Orlando Airport says as of 4 hours ago, their airport is open and operational, but disruptions are expected throughout the day. Delays, cancellations, and bag delivery delays may occur. So check with your airline for updates. How about the Central Florida theme parks, Disney World, even the cruise line? What do you see there, Kyle?
I haven't seen anything from the cruise line, surprisingly. I'm sure they've made, I think they made itinerary changes ahead of time, so that could be why it's not affecting future cruises, and maybe that's why we haven't heard. But as far as Walt Disney World, they did make a couple of small changes. Winter Summerland, the golf courses, the mini golf courses are closed today. I believe the water parks are. Why can't I find where?
Yeah, Typhoon Lagoon is closed today. Blizzard Beach closed anyway.
Yeah. Yep, and then they did ask the guests at Fort Wilderness just to move their stuff inside, and that's pretty much it. The travel flexibility window where they're going to be waiving cancellations will continue through September 5th. the evacuee and first responder 50% off Disney resorts. That'll continue through the 31st, so tomorrow night. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So as far as Walt Disney World impacts, definitely on the lower end, since the hurricane's already passing and they're still open. So definitely missed that area this time, but that doesn't mean that there's not impacts in other parts of Florida, and there's still some impacts in the Orlando area, just not a direct hit by any means.
And other Central Florida theme parks, Universal parks are open, but they did close their Volcano Bay water park. They did cancel early entry today, and Discovery closed. As SeaWorld's kind of interactive Swim with the Dolphin kind of place is closed, but SeaWorld, the main park, is open. Yeah, so that's kind of what's going on. Geo makes it interesting. Wait times have been short from what I've been seeing. So let's take a look at Magic Kingdom wait times right now using Laughing Place's handy dandy wait time page. Make that a little bigger for you. And yeah, green. So we actually, in addition to giving the times, we kind of give you a green or red, which kind of looks over the past 30 days and says whether this is lower or higher than you can be expected to get normally. And there is a lot of green on this page. It is a great day to be at the Magic Kingdom if you don't want any wait. So, Luke Manning with some late breaking news. They had announced yesterday it would be closed, but I guess it turns out they opened it. So thank you, Luke, for pressing that. And thank you, Orange Grove. Please do us a favor, smash that like button. We appreciate it. Yeah, good day to be at the parks over in Walt Disney World. If you want to avoid some lines, let's check out Hollywood Studios real quick. More, not quite as much green, but certainly no red, and looking good. Rise of Resistance is up at 40 minutes. Swirling Saucers at 5. That's not always the case. So, yeah, and that's not one you want to be waiting 30 minutes for either. So ride it at 5. It's a lot of fun at 5 minutes, not at 40. All right. Well, thank you, Kai, for going back to your roots and doing your wedding. Let's see. Let's move on to some non-theme park news. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny coming to home media. Mike Celestino, I would hope, did this. Yes, Mike Celestino got a review copy of this. We now have a review on our website. I will put that in the chat just for you, and we will do what we do with reviews around here. We will read the headline and the final paragraph, because really, that's all you need to do. We invite you to do the same. The headline: Digital review, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny arrives on home media with behind-the-scenes featurette. He doesn't want to give it away in the headline, apparently. Final paragraph. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is available now on digital formats. But the penultimate paragraph. Then we have the engrossing hour-long featurette, which follows Mangold and star Harrison Ford as they embark on the quest to bring the Indy final adventure to life. Behind-the-scenes documentary is divided up into the acts of the film, starting with the prologue set in the 40s, Germany during World War II. It's great to see more footage of Ford playing his much younger self prior to ILM's VFX, which was going to town on his face. But the doc also pays tribute to the stunt performers and photo doubles that played Indian action scenes in some of the wider shots. We then learn. Is that me? That's this thing over here.
No.
Okay, but let's close that anyway. Let's see. We then learn about the various other aspects of the production and post-production, including the film's locations, production design, sound effects, and more. We spend more time with the other cast members like Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Maid Mikkelsen, who all exuberantly gush about having worked on such a high-profile franchise with this talented creative team. For me, it was most interesting to see which of these sets were created on location around the world and which were chosen to be built on sound stages at Pinewood Studios. But it's also clear that Mangold and his collaborators had a lot of passion in driving home one final treasure hunt for everyone's favorite fedora sporting archaeologist. Mike Celestino, quite the wordsmith there. If you enjoy hearing what Mike has to say, I invite you to stay tuned to 1 p.m. today, where Mike will be discussing episode 3 of Ahsoka, which I got to see yesterday. Have you seen episode 3 yesterday?
I did not. I think we're probably going to save it for Saturday morning.
Like the old Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
Well, I saw it. I liked it. Very short episode. What happens, but a very short episode. But I thought it was a really, really fun to watch.
That's probably the strangest part for me about streaming shows is the variety in the runtime. There's another one that we're like, okay, well, this it's on HBO Max or just Max. And it's like, okay, well, this one was definitely not one that came from HBO because we're like, well, the first one's an hour, and the next one we're like, wait, it's over already? Because it was 40 minutes. So huge difference.
I feel like this one was even less than 40, like 30 something. It was tight. So Mike Celestino will be talking about that live at 1 o'clock. If you have any questions
maybe Benji
about
liked it better.
It did not have
lingering camera shots.
I felt like it had one linger, and that's about it. Mike Celestino also.
Cranberries.
That is one of those unskippable songs. I love that song so much. Mike Celestino also did an article recapping the episode in deep dive detail, which, did I read that this morning? I feel like I did. Yeah, I actually did. Yeah, check it out yourself. Once you've seen the episode, it's full of spoilers, but once you've seen the episode, check it out. It'll help you maybe see some stuff you didn't notice, or in my case, stuff I just have no clue what's going on, and it helps me understand. So thank you, Mike, for that. Mike Celestino also did a book review. I don't know that we've ever talked about a book review on this show before. Maybe that's why he wasn't on Parks Talk Monday. Okay, so I'll do what I do for this too, which first time.
Is the last paragraph as long as the last one? Because maybe not.
So I'm gonna shorten it. It is. I'm only gonna read like the last half of the last paragraph because that's what I just checked out real quick. So this is from a certain point of view series where they take scenes, if I'm understanding this right, from old times of watching Who's the Boss or Star Wars headlines back in the day. They take scenes that you're familiar with from the movies or even other books, but then they tell a story about it from a completely different point of view. Like I think they have one from the famous scene in Empire Strikes Back, where Darth Vader's going crazy and everyone's running every place, and the guy's running someplace with the ice cream maker. I think they have it from a certain point of view from that guy's perspective, like everything going on in that scene and around there, but from his perspective.
There's actually a term for this in the industry. It's called a Lion King 1.5-ing.
Is that truly the case? Or
no.
did you make that up? It would make sense. I thought you were being serious. Oh, man. It should be. All right. So Mike Celestino, headline, book review. Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, from a certain point of view, collects 40 more short stories. This one is obviously about Return of the Jedi stuff. Let's see. Get to the final paragraph, and then we get to the final part of the final paragraph. Maybe in a couple years, we'll get from a certain point of view The Force Awakens, and it will only have 10 stories, or even 30 stories might work for The Phantom Menace in 2029. But for now, I'd say 40 is just too many to get through. Over these 3 volumes, it's become tougher and tougher to weed out the gems from among the more disposable tales. And ultimately, the From a Certain Point of View series has given me something I haven't experienced very much of in my lifetime as a fan. Star Wars fatigue.
Ooh.
Wow. Not going to see that on a commercial.
I think, I want the Last Jedi ones. That sounds good. So people wondering what the side quest is all about.
Rebecca, who used to do Star Wars headlines with Mike, so she has heard his opinions of this book series differs greatly on this concept. She likes it from a certain point of view. Mike Celestino is not the biggest fan from the certain point of view. So
maybe he hasn't seen Lion King 1.5. Maybe that's the problem.
The concept is so cool, but I definitely can see where it might wear thin after a while. Like, oh, this is so cool. We're seeing all of this because I think of like certain movies, like let me give me 1 second. Say something for 5 seconds.
I think maybe, like they're saying 40. That's kind of, there's going to be a lot of filler in 40 different stories.
All right. Superman 2, one of my absolute favorite movies of all time. When Superman is fighting the 3 bad guys in the end of New York, there's this one guy who's on roller skates with a big, what they used to call ghetto blaster on his shoulders. And there's like, I think Zod blows and he goes on his roller skates. I want to see what he was doing.
Warriors is what you're saying?
I want to see what he was doing the 10 minutes leading up to that while all the chaos is going on around him. And he's just kind of roller skating with his stereo on his shoulder. I think that would make a fun story. So I get the concept. It sounds fun. I also can see where after 4 or 5, you're like, I get it now. This is good.
Speaking of the Warriors, is Lin-Manuel doing a Warriors adaptation, or was that a real headline, or did I just dream that?
I'm sure he's not writing it right now.
Well, it's a play. I don't know if you can write for a speculative play. I don't know how that works.
So this comes from playbill.com, which I don't believe exists only in your dreams. Lin-Manuel Miranda pinning stage musical adaptation of The Warriors.
Okay, I didn't make it up.
And it's cool. We know what he's going to do. He's going to have an all non-minority cast. That movie is made up of a lot of minorities already. Lin-Manuel with Hamilton. Anyway.
Do you think that'll be the first time a Broadway orchestra includes Coke bottles?
You have seen this movie, right?
Come out to play.
You've seen this movie?
Yeah.
You a big fan?
I haven't seen it in a long time, but there's a lot of memorable things about it.
Yeah.
The chief is the radio DJ. The chief from Where in the World's Coming to San Diego.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I have a lot of great memories about it too. Like, it's one of those movies that just has such iconic scenes that they stick in your head. And then I went to watch it one time within the past couple of years, and like, this isn't actually watchable as an entire movie. It's just those scenes stick in your head. My opinion, anyway, which stands for nothing. Back onto the small screen, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is getting a 4K Ultra treatment.
Yeah, so we knew that this restoration was happening because when they announced that some of the shorts coming to Disney Plus, they teased that this was in the works, and so now we have more information on it and a release date for it. So we'll get to see. Apparently, the Cinderella one was really good. Tony had mixed thoughts on the shorts. He said they looked really good, but maybe too good. But Alex really liked the Cinderella restoration, so I'm sure he's looking forward to this one.
Such a Tony thing to say. Maybe too good. This comes out on October 10th. 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. This is the Disney 100 edition, released nationwide in the collectible O sleeve. You were looking at it.
Because the disc is shaped like an O, so it only fits into an O sleeve.
A quick note on the dining plan. Ticketless packages, meaning being able to buy a dining plan with your hotel package without a Disney ticket, are now available to book through Walt Disney Travel Company for stays beginning January 9th, 2024. They do need to be booked over the phone. I presume you can also use a Disney travel agent, which we highly, highly, highly recommend, especially Mouse Fan Travel. Check them out. Where you at today, Rich? We usually have a rep of Mouse Fan Travel in our chat, but not today, it looks like.
Mouse Fan Travel, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but they'll handle everything for you. So, if perhaps your travel plans get ruined by a hurricane, you don't have to worry about calling and doing it yourself. They'll handle it for you, and they can handle stuff like this. So, yeah. Indeed. I'll admit that I haven't used one, but that's only because I don't travel in the same way that you guys do. So,
I have definitely used one many times. I think we've used them probably every time we've done a Disney cruise. But even for stays, I think we use them for Universal Studio stay, because they definitely do more than just Disney.
Yes, they also have Universal Fan Travel, and then MEI, the overall company, just any travel agent, anything you want to do, except for my preferred staying accommodations at Walt Disney World are cast member couch, and they don't book that, unfortunately. So
yet.
Yeah, they should do that. So, they should get into the cast member couch booking business,
which both takes care of accommodations and admission to the park. That's really great.
Yeah. That's why do you think so? I say this because when it had been 15 years or so since I went to Walt Disney World, and I met Benji at the 2009 Expo. And then when I was talking about wanting to go out there, he's like, "Oh, well, you can just stay with me." And then he had the super nice ticket at the time, and was able to sign me into the parks every day. So fantastic.
Oh, would recommend. If you want to be friends with Kyle, all you need to do is be a cast member, and he's your buddy. My buddy.
It's changed since then. I know they don't have that same sort of ease of accessibility,
especially with reservations now. Anyway, Laughing Place does condone the purchasing of theme park tickets to go to the theme parks, especially in conjunction with a stay at the Disney World Resort and Mouse Fan Travel. One more item only so far today before we get to a little bit of fun stuff. Bic. Have you seen this story, Kyle? I just could not leave this off the list.
I guess they have Marvel's pens. Those look nice.
Yes, Bic is releasing Marvel Studios. You can get a better version of this picture for you guys.
We also have this story that I sent you in private chat, by the way.
Okay, there we go. The
Marvel
Marvel edition
are going to be lighters at first, but they're pens.
Probably not appropriate.
I like candles
the Marvels
with lighters. I don't know.
Okay, good point. But never mind. October 29th, the Marvels edition retractable ballpoint pens. Okay, catch this. These are those 4-color pens, that have the 4 little things so you can choose your color. And what else? They come. The ultimate superhero team needs the ultimate team of colors in one pen. So experiencing long-lasting ink with the big 4-color retractable ballpoint pen inspired by Marvel Studios' The Marvels. With 4 different colors in the same pen, they are the ideal ballpoint pens for writing lists, taking notes, journaling, and more. It's a smart choice for art or school supplies. Enhance your note-taking and organizational skills. Don't make me laugh. With one of these versatile retractable pens. Plus, I'm not done. The plastic clip easily attaches to pockets, notebooks, and more for a quick access on the go. They were designed for convenience so that you can have assorted pens without carrying around a stationary set. Even better, we're not quite done. The retractable pens let you start writing with just one click. Looking for refillable pens for school supplies? Choose the big 4-color retractable ballpoint for high quality and affordable product you can trust. Click here to pre-order.
That was some Don Draper level copy there.
Who gets credit for writing that
black
one?
Black is a shade, Trisha. So there's 3 colors and black.
Good job, Trisha, with that one. Very nice article. Don't poop on my pen. All right.
I thought it was actually the big copy. So knowing that, I guess it could be.
I'm sure it's a big copy. Okay. If Trisha put that much effort into writing her own pen copy, we need to have a talk. Or perhaps she's in the wrong business. She should be doing marketing instead of travel. Right?
She needs to go back to the 60s. And
we have opinions on pens. Big 4-color is the best pen of all time.
Wow.
Don't poo-poo the pen, Kyle. That guy went.
Remember
whoever's on social
jelly pens?
Yeah, I do. Whoever's on social right now, can we do a Instagram don't poo-poo the pen?
Jeremiah's on. I don't think you want to see where he takes that.
I wanted to have a pocket pick, and I forgot to.
Do you want to pocket pick the thing I put in random?
Sure. I don't know what it is.
Also, let me talk about real quick this story that we were talking about earlier. So ESPN's Daily Wager is going to be returning to its home in Bristol, Connecticut, because the past 3 years they've been at the Link Hotel and experienced. They had a cool studio on the Las Vegas Strip at the Link, which is owned by Caesars. That's because they had a partnership with Caesars Sportsbook, but presumably because they now are partnering with Penn for ESPN Bet. The deal with Caesars is off, so they're heading back to the East Coast. So if you're a fan of ESPN's Daily Wager, it's going to look a little different because it's going to be back at the regular studios and not at the cool studio, which I always wanted to go to. We always passed it, and Becca was like, I want to go up there. I want to check it out. But it was not accessible to the public as far as I know. Cool. It was right by the In-N-Out. So anytime we go to the In-N-Out, where it's like the only affordable food on the Las Vegas Strip, you'd be able to check out.
Rebecca says jelly pens were trash.
Whoa.
Trash. All right. We've got a pocket pick for you today. I think this one. Shut up.
So this was me.
Shut up. TikTok, you drive me crazy. Pocket Picks, the semi-daily segment where I go through stuff I saw on social media and share it with you that I thought was interesting.
So this was me going to Disneyland to try to get Lorcana at 5:30 a.m. when Downtown Disney opens at 7. This is when we pulled up to the gates, had a few people in line, not too many, but crazy seeing Downtown Disney like this. I was about the 8th, 9th person in line. This was like around 6:30, everyone trying to get in the park. Once you get in, they gave you this little menu to see what's up, see what you want. It was only limited to 2 per customer, and you weren't able to get all 3 decks, which was pretty rad because everyone was able to get what they wanted. This was at Pin Traders where the line actually was. We were the first people to actually get the line, so it's pretty cool. And then here's what I picked up. So I
thought that was interesting. What it was actually like.
I feel so lucky to have this sent to me by Ravensburger, and I can just enjoy my cards and didn't have to put up with any of this. But I did go, like I said, I went to my local gaming shop, was able to buy a couple of boosters. Not this past weekend. I think it was the weekend before. The weekend, whenever they went on, so the 19th, I think I went, 19th or 20th. And yeah, they still had some stuff. They had some boosters. I was able to buy a couple. I think it's actually a little cheaper at the Disney parks because they can afford to sell them for cheaper.
Help my memory. Are there packs or things that are only available at the Disney parks?
No, there's actually less at the Disney parks. They only had the booster sets and the gift sets. Or not booster, sorry. They only had the starter decks and the gift things.
So why are people putting so much effort into getting them there?
And I don't think they're giving discounts either. I don't know. I don't know if people... I guess, like I said, it could be technically a little cheaper if the local stores ran out because there's a limited supply, or I don't know.
Who knows?
That's what I was saying. I didn't quite understand it unless
there's no understanding.
More of a different type of collector. Maybe the type of person who's into TCGs, knows where the local game store is, and is going to go there. Whereas these people might be more interested in like me, like the art of it. And so maybe that's why they wanted to go. They just like, oh, okay, it's at Disney parks. Like that's kind of like your accessibility point.
Which I understand, but if you have to go there, if you choose to go there at 5:30 in the AM, 6 a.m., that's not the most accessible thing in the world.
No, I just mean like, so like for me, traveling internationally, like the Disney parks I can navigate. So when I'm at the Disney parks, I'm like, okay, even though if I'm on the other side of the world, like there's a certain level of comfort built in by the fact that I'm at a Disney park. So if you're a Disney fan and that's where you're comfortable, then okay, even if I'm there at 5:30 in the morning, I don't know the world of local game stores. I might feel more intimidated there than I will be going to Disney at 5:30.
True. And maybe you think it's going to be the same situation at the local game store, so I'd rather do it at Disney than at the local game store.
And they have fresh stock, whereas like if you missed your opening window at your local game store and they're sold out, then yeah, instead of having to call them constantly, like I might as well just take my shot at this first round of stock.
Not throwing away my shot.
Exactly.
Just working that in there. Have you seen Mike's Fantasy
Is
Football?
this $125 per?
Shut up. I mean, one moment. All right. Our next pocket pick. This comes from, I got to give credit here. This is Pasta Girly, PASTAGIRLY. I like this TikTok. I just saw it this morning. It's 90 seconds, but it's a full review of a location that I've never been to and have been curious about. So seeing a review in a 90-second TikTok, I think is worth watching. And this place is kind of special to us around here at LP.
For $25 per person Disneyland experience worth the hype, we are here to tell you everything that we thought about Naparo's and the Grand Californian's Breakfast with the Princesses. This is a 3-course interactive meal experience, with each course having much more than 3 courses on its own, and you get to meet princesses in between eating. They start you off with a tray full of appetizers and a basket of pastries and lemon curd on the side. This was the creamiest lemon curd I've ever had in my life. It was absolutely heavenly, and with the pastries, it just elevated them so much. It was so good. You do get 1 free mimosa with your breakfast too, which I think is awesome. This banana with raspberry sauce was really good, but the beignet was super dry and I didn't really like it. This chia pudding though, oh my gosh, it was honestly one of my favorites. It was so flavorful, and the little sandwiches, the turkey cranberry one was delicious, but the lobster roll was also dry like the beignet. The next course is the actual breakfast itself, as if the pastries weren't enough. And there are so many things to choose from eggs to sausage to meat. And then you also get served fries with this super yummy sauce. And it was so delicious, but so much food, honestly. And it's never ending, so you can go back and get more if you want. And finally, you finish with dessert. And honestly, all of these desserts were a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. I loved them all. I would rate the whole experience a 10 out of 10. The price is a little spendy, but I do think it's worth trying once in your life if you've been wanting to do it. It was delicious and fun. I have no regrets.
No princess.
She did not show us any princesses.
Remember like 2 weeks ago when we were wondering if this still existed? I don't know how you can give it a 10 out of 10 if you say two things were extremely dry. Like,
that's the part that shocked me. I mean, I've been at Napa Rose, one of my favorite restaurants of all time. Used to go there quite a bit when we lived in SoCal. I find it so hard to believe that they have something that's just plain not good. I can understand not to my liking, but for her to just say the beignets were just dry and the lobster roll was dry, I'm not saying she doesn't mean it or anything. It's the Napa Rose. They don't do that. So I'm just, I find that interesting.
It's a Napa Rose buffet, though. It's a little different.
It's the Napa Rose.
Napa Rose is a
special place. You don't do Disney like other people, do you, Kyle?
Well, here's the thing. It's because I was planning to go with my friend, but then Steakhouse 55 became like our place. And so then when I come into town, it was more like, well, let's go. Like we'd have like a tradition of always going to Steakhouse 55. So it never gave me a chance to go do Napa Rose. Now there's no Steakhouse 55. So now I can go to Napa Rose.
That's true. So next time, of course, we're now there. I've never been to Carthay Circle, so I'm one to talk. Showed a lot. Okay, dropped a lot of crumbs there. I thought she did a great review there. I am not here to critique her reviewing style. She's a successful food influencer, and that's wonderful. She did show a lot of herself, but that's the way influencing works these days. Oh, Rich is here after all. Which one, Napa Rose or Palo?
One's on a ship, so it all has an unfair advantage.
Let's tangent here, Rich. Short tangent. So Napa Rose, when we lived in Southern California, my wife and I, long before Gideon was even a glimmer in our eye, we used to go to Napa Rose every Friday night. Don't go crazy. We're not rich. We knew a lot of the people there. They treated us very, very kindly. So we just sat in the lounge so we didn't take up space in the main dining room. But we could get the full menu, and we ate what a life eating there every Friday night. So while it is absolutely spectacular, because it was so commonplace for us, it's hard to call it special. Palo is special. You have to be on a ship, definitionally, if that's a word. You can't go there every Friday night. It's even a little, even when you go, we're not the midnight check-in kind of people, so we can't always make sure we get the Palo reservation, and I really want brunch. So when I get that Palo brunch, that is a special, special thing, and there is no place in the world to compare to brunch at Palo. No place. Our last cruise, we did an enchanté brunch, which was spectacular. Just some of the most foo-foo food you can possibly imagine, and it was incredible. Nothing compares to a Palo brunch, number one. Gio says, if you want just the buffet, Storytellers will be the better option. I have a feeling the Napa Rose food might be a cut above, but Sunny Saga would pick Napa over Palo for dinner, but Palo brunch is the dream, especially on the dream. So, yes. Lasagna melts in your mouth. So I'm a vegetarian. I haven't had the lasagna. I've heard such great things about the lasagna. I've heard great things about the chicken parm at Palo.
No vegetable lasagna exists.
But not at Palo. So I haven't had either. But the pear and gorgonzola pizza, and I'm not even sure we've done the brunch at Palo since they've taken away the brunch table. And I'm not even sure I want to, because the brunch table was everything. They had these blocks of feta cheese wrapped in eggplant, which were just so good. And then they stopped having them. But I asked my server, and they still got them for me. It was so good.
Describing something as everything isn't on your list?
I mean, not when it comes out of my mouth. But if I hear someone else say it, it might be. That's actually a phrase I use a lot. When we were doing our Disney Adventure thing, Adventure by Disney thing, I kept saying the guides are everything. So I think that's a phrase I'm okay with until I get sick of it, which anytime now. Okay, let's move on. What is your favorite high-end Disney dining experience? Let us know in the chat. Baked yogurt with mango for dessert. How about the sticky buns, Rich? Just the ooey gooey sticky buns for dessert. Baked yogurt with mango, that's not too unhealthy. That's not dessert. All right, Kyle, we reached the segment of the show where we test your knowledge of Disney history related to calendars.
Related to calendars.
On this day in 2008, a Disney legend was born. In fact, the first Disney legend was born?
Fred.
Fred, you are right so far.
I'm gonna say it wrong. I'm gonna get it
They
wrong.
didn't
Is it
let you
McMurray?
in the cabin? Oh, that is sad. Is it McMurray? It is McMurray.
So,
That is.
can I tell you why I hesitate so much?
Yes.
I confuse the real person with whatever the character is on I Love Lucy. Fred, is it Mertz?
Yes.
I think so. I forget which one is which.
Oh, I'm so glad you didn't say, is it Fred Mertz? In which case I would have said yes. Yes, it is. Fred Mertz is who it is. On this day in 2008, Disney legend Fred Mertz was born. Way to go. All right, next up. On this day in 2096. Nope. On this day in 1996, a film came out. It's like, I'm sorry. I will always stop for Napa Rose and Palo talk. Napa's chocolate dessert over the Palo souffle. Palo's chocolate souffle for dinner is like the thing. It's everything. And Rebecca would choose the Napa's, I think it was their flourless chocolate cake. I'm shocked. All right, on this day, 1996, a movie came out. It's live action. It starred Brock Pierce, I believe. My top typo is correct. And Sinbad.
Is that First Kid?
It is First Kid. Wow.
Thanks, Sinbad.
What
it
is
wasn't Kazam or Shazam.
Kazam, I was going to say, have you seen
real one?
Have you seen Kazam or whatever?
I've seen the real one. I've seen the Shaq one. Now I forget which one that is. That's Kazam, I think. Shazam is the one that doesn't exist, right? Or it does, but it's exactly by movie.
Yeah. It's like Monopoly Monocle guy exists. All right, and so you are 2 for 2. There's only one more. I don't think you've ever had an outright 3 perfect this day in Disney history before. So here we go. On this day in 2014, an attraction had its final run at Disney's Hollywood Studios. 2014.
2014. Okay. Last one. It's an attraction. So is it a ride or is it an attraction?
It is most definitely an attraction. Some might even call it a show.
Okay.
Kyle, I don't want to overhit this because I want you to legitimately get it perfect.
Motors Action?
Dang it, Kyle. Come on. Come on. That's actually a really good guess, but it's wrong.
I'm allowed to guess multiple things.
Okay, fine.
It's
not Elmex. You have to get it before someone in the chat does.
Yeah, well, it's not going to happen. Show at Disney's Hollywood Studios 2014.
I believe this is the only park it ran at.
Okay. I'm like, that's still open. That's still open. I don't know. Idol? American Idol Experience?
American Idol Experience, Kyle, with the perfect day on this day in Disney history. So proud of you, my protege.
I went to that once.
Me too. I think we're out of town for the grand opening of it, but I did experience it. Well, with that, Kyle getting a perfect day here on this day in Disney history is everything.
Oh.
Yes, pasta processed with chocolate cheese. Rich Ostry now wishing he was on a Disney cruise, just going through all his favorite dishes. That's a good article.
Today was the day we were going to learn more about the Disney treasure, but we have to wait a week for that now.
What's the new date for that? Is it 1 week from today?
September 5th, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific time. So you got to get up early.
Very excited to learn more about the Disney Wish. Nothing like a new Disney cruise ship. Treasure, yes. Yeah. Thank you. All right. I see nothing on the tweets.
Nothing on the... Well, they announced the ladies who are going to be vying for the Golden Bachelor's heart, but I don't think you care about that.
No, I actually don't. I'm curious though. Are they all golden ladies? Or does
Yeah,
the
they're
age range?
all of a certain age. I don't know what
Okay.
age that would be, but it's my understanding that they are all older
That
than
makes
the
sense.
people on the normal shows.
Oh, Rebecca points out that American Idol Experience opened in February 2009, so that could explain why we weren't at the grand opening, because our child also debuted in February of 2009. And that was a priority. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, well, it is a two-show Wednesday. So at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, Mike Celestino will be doing his next Who's the Boss podcast live with a special guest, Sarah Woloski. I'm not sure I never asked her last name, even though I know exactly who she is. Sarah from Skywalking Through Neverland. You know who she is. We like Sarah a lot. So she's going to be on with Mike. They're going to be talking what's going on in the world of Star Wars and doing a deep dive into episode 3 of Ahsoka. So you definitely want to check that out. I want to check that out because I am liking this Ahsoka thing. Thanks for joining us today, Cal, and I'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. to close out. It's only Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. to do a Thursday.
That week if you want.
To do a Thursday edition of the morning show. And if any news breaks, you never know. Yeah. Ethan, hopefully Ethan is back. Ethan, in all seriousness, Ethan is kind of a fun thing, and with the hurricane going on, we thought maybe not the most appropriate thing. So hopefully the hurricane's not too bad, and it seems a little better to bring back our good buddy. So thanks for joining us as always. We'll be back tomorrow morning. And as soon as I find my mouse, bye-bye.